Okay, hello once more everybody. Steve here from CELTAhelper.com, and I have another question to go through in detail with you about the CELTA course. So a common topic people ask me about is CELTA jobs, or finding a job as an English language teacher after finishing the CELTA. Now, the main things people ask me, how long does it take and how easy is it? Which quite hard to answer really, but let's have a look. First of all, I'll talk about my experience then, to give you some background. Now, I did my CELTA back in 2007, which is a very long time ago now. A bit sad to think that all those years have passed and I'm not as young as I once was. But anyway, I did it in August 2007 here in the UK, and I actually really wasn't as organised as I should have been. And I came out of the CELTA without really thinking about jobs, and I didn't look for jobs for a little while because I was just trying to figure out what to do and some stuff going on, personal stuff, and I just didn't look. But then when I started looking, it was a little bit late. I started looking in October, and I actually found a job then that started in November in Spain. Now that was quite rare because most jobs, as I'll talk about later, come at a different time in Europe. But you know, I found a job. They were looking for, they said 1 year experience, the place I went to in Galicia in the northwest of Spain, and they actually took me without any experience because they were in a bit of a pinch. So, you know, there are job opportunities out there. You just have to find them. But then as soon as I got that one job, then it opened so many other doors, as you can imagine. Yeah, once you've got that bit of experience, then people trust you a lot more and everything becomes a lot easier. So that was my experience. Now let's move on to the next question. How long does it take to find a job after getting your CELTA certificate? Well, I would say one of the biggest factors really is the time of year. Now, as I mentioned, I got my job in November, but in Europe, the majority of jobs are advertised for probably early summer, maybe even starting around Easter time. Maybe not, but you're looking probably 3 to 4 months before the start of the coming academic year. So the schools need to get people in place, and there's a lot of people move around with CELTA certificates, especially in Europe. It's quite easy to get a job elsewhere and people want to travel. And they also can't do it too far in advance because then people will just basically not commit, especially when you've got people who are coming back and forth, and you know, arranging a job more than 6 months in advance to me sounds a bit strange. Not something I've ever done. So yeah, you're looking probably 3 months before the start of the academic year. So in Europe, yeah, the prime time really is start looking is June, maybe May, June, July, August, and then they start to dry up a bit. You do get a few more in January, and that would start in January, so advertised in late November, early December. But the main time would be in the summer. Now, it depends where you want to go. And so just think 3 to 6 months before the start of the academic year. And that's probably the best way to look at it. So if you can time your CELTA course to do that, to finish at the right time, then you're probably going to put yourself in the best opportunity for wherever you want to go. Which takes me on to the next point. It really depends where you're looking to work. If you're looking to work anywhere, well, then it's a lot easier. And that also comes into how easy is it. So actually, yes, let's really go into how easy is it then. If you want to work in somewhere like China or South Korea, there are a lot of jobs year round because demand is higher than the supply, so you can pretty much find a job there any given month of the year without much hassle. There are higher times or more times where there's more in demand, but I don't know exactly when because I've never worked in South Korea or in China. But if you want to put yourself out there, for China particularly, I keep getting people inboxing me on LinkedIn, Chinese recruiters. They do that. They headhunt people quite directly. I can't say how the jobs are because I've never followed up on one. Maybe somebody watching this could say in a comment. But yeah, you can then, the website I used to find my job, which I didn't mention earlier, was tefl.com. That was really easy to use. And the more websites you join and add your details to, the more you're going to get. And you will actually start getting people headhunting you, because there's so many jobs if you have the right visas and you meet the right criteria that they're looking for. So another point is, how easy is it? Do you have prior experience? Obviously, if you have any form of teaching experience, that goes a long way to help you and makes you more appealing. As I said, you get that foot in the door job. Your employers love that, because they think, okay, more likely they're going to be a good teacher, a bit less work for us. So, but if you don't have experience, don't worry. You can still get jobs. Everybody has to start somewhere, right? So there's just a few, well, a little bit harder and fewer jobs, but not to worry. There's still plenty of jobs you can get. The other point I said is, if you want to go anywhere, it is really quite easy if you're a native speaker. If you want to go anywhere, there are jobs just all over the world, any time of year. So if you have broad horizons, then that's fine. If you're looking for more specific jobs, then you need to start thinking about the points I mentioned about the time of year. And one last point, it is most definitely easier for native speakers to find jobs. Now, I am a native speaker. Obviously, I can never have had the experience of a non-native English speaking teacher. That's a phrase, isn't it? Or a nest. But it's definitely not impossible, because I know I've spoken to people on Facebook groups who've said they got jobs in China, for example, a French person who was a French speaker. Several other people have found it as well. And yeah, it's definitely doable. You just have to often be in the country. Makes it a lot easier, but not necessarily. So it's really about getting yourself out there and going for it. And it can be done. And yeah, that's all there really is to it. You can find a lot of jobs with a CELTA. It's worth it for that, especially if you want to live in different countries. And of course, if you want to work abroad, you need the right visa, because the employers and the schools don't really want to, well, a lot of them got very stringent laws and they don't really want to stretch themselves on it. Although I did work in Indonesia where they paid for my visa, because that's the thing they do over there. But ideally, they all want you to already have an easy enough visa. So one other thing to think about, but not a major stumbling block. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon, and enjoy.